Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. This is video 1 in the new series called Nautical Impressions, and we're using the Nautical Impressions Kit by Victoria Designs. Now, this is one of those large packages, and once again, I'm not sure if you can get it separately on their website or not. I mean, their Etsy store or not. The link to their shop and all the other recommended video channels, YouTube channels, and Etsy shops are going to be below the video. Just click the show more and you'll see all those links down there for you. So now we're going to talk just for a second about the kit, because there's a couple of important things that you need to know. There's several sizes to the kit. Now I actually made one size by accident by printing it out without just regular, and then trimming the edges off, and that made it too small for what I wanted to do. I'd already started our project, and then I had to trim it down, and then things went bad, and so I decided to start over. Now, I'm still going to use these papers, of course, but just in a different project. So, let me clip this back together so you don't accidentally use any of these little papers. You'll have to excuse my clumsiness. I fell and injured my left shoulder, so we're going to see how that goes. So now I turned around and printed everything borderless. So that gave me a true 8.5 by 11. And that's what I'm using for this project. Now, if you have a border, then you'll just need to adjust the measurements by however big your border is. So let's say your border is 1/8 of an inch around, then you trim it off. That's going to make your paper 1/8 of an inch smaller. So you're going to make your book 1/8 of an inch smaller all the way around, tall and wide. Okay, so here are some of the full pages at the 8.5 by 11 without a border. This one I have a paper clip on because I cut a circle out for our closure. I wanted to remind myself there was a hole there. So these are some of the full papers. This kit is just gorgeous, I would like to add. So these are some of the full papers. Look at that one. I love this one. Well, I mean, I think all of them, but there's a couple of solid backgrounds. Okay, and there's a map and some other ones. So those are the full-size papers, and we'll use those for a couple of the pages that we're going to put elements on that would cover up a regular paper, and why use one of the ones with the images on it for that. Okay, so then we've got our regular pages printed out at full size, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut them in half, and we're going to use half and half. Now there's 20 or 24 pages in this kit, so we're going to have twice that many pages, which is going to be plenty to choose from, and maybe a little overwhelming to choose from for this project. Okay, so here's some of the papers in the kit. Yeah, there's quite a few. I'm not really sure how many. I love this. The images are just beautiful. Okay, so here's some of the, I'm not flipping through because I'm always mess that up. Here's a writing page for us. I'll set that one to the side. And here's another one. That's writing page on both sides. This one, well, let's not say that one because we might want to put something in the bottom. That's the only criticism of this kit that I have. There's a writing paper, by the way, each one with a different color background. Is that they did a poll, and in the poll they asked if people wanted more writing space, because you know usually Victoria Designs pages are quite busy, and I love those pages. And so they turned around and took everyone's advice who said yes, and then they came out with this, which I feel has too much blank space at the tops of the pages. I kind of wish they had some of the little images of the note pages and things like that. Look at that seahorse. Okay, so these are the papers in the kit. There's more, of course. Looks like I might have printed that one with the 3 little fishies out twice. I was doing a lot of printing. Okay, so those go over there. Then there's the ephemera. As you can see, I'm going to do this one this way. Oops, this one should go over there. Okay, so we've got this ephemera. We got tickets, we have pockets, we have words, we have envelopes. Okay, we have little elements that look like masking tape, all kinds of little things, or washi tape, masking tape, either one. All right, so now let's talk about the project. The project is going to be 3 manila folders, legal sized, to accommodate our 8.5 by 11 pages that we're going to cut in half. And we're going to fold them in such a way that you're going to end up with 4 pockets. You're going to end up with 1 pocket in the front, 1 pocket in the back, and a double pocket in the center. Now, I've already done 2, and then we'll do 1 more together. We're going to be using some of these envelopes. These are gift card envelopes in cream colored. Now, I inked one to see what it would look like with the papers, and I think that it looks better. So I think I'm going to ink my envelopes. I'm going to ink my paper. I don't think I'm going to ink my manila folders. You're more than welcome to ink them. If you're going to ink them, make sure that when you fold your folder in half, okay, that oh, and it's going to be 3 right tab folders. That's important. But make sure that you ink here all around the edges, and then in here around the edges, and on the back all around the edges, and up and down the spine. Okay, so you got to make sure you do all of that. Where's my cover? Oh, it's over here on this one. So silly. Okay, and then we're going to also use some of these great big envelopes. And we'll have to trim every one down by just a smidge in the height. And we're going to glue some of them back together, or most of them back together, and make side pockets out of them. These envelopes are from Great Papers, and I got them on Amazon, and they are big. They're card envelopes as well. Sorry about my neighbor's car. They're 8 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay, that's why it's just a smidge large, because our pages are going to be 8 3/4 high. But we're just going to have to look at it and see. We may have to trim them down, so just be aware of that. It's no big deal. Okay, so we've got some of those that we're going to use. We're going to use some offcuts from our manila folders. We're also going to be using some pieces from scrap manila folders I have that I either cut wrong or were left over from a project that just had the tab cut off, whatever. So we're going to be using some scraps too. Okay, so now to cut, oh, you're going to need a brad. You're going to need a 1-inch circle. That's a manila folder piece. I actually have 2 glued together with a piece of the paper on the top. for the image. I looked at it and I didn't just like the manila folder inked because I'm not going to ink mine. Okay, so we're going to need that. And the ink that I'm using, believe it or not, is iced spruce, but it's like a blue spruce color, and it goes well with the colors on the edges of the papers. You're going to need one brad and of course your glue, and I think that's all. We might use some glossy accents on some stuff. You never know. So now to make this isn't hard. You've got the right tab. You have the right tab, the correct tab. And you're going to open your trimmer out to 12 inches. You're going to cut it 11 1/4 inches wide. Okay. Yeah, that's right. You want the tab side on the part that you're going to cut off. That's important. So we have 11 1/4. Oh, and on a side note, when you get the legal size manila folders, the Amazon brand, they don't have Amazon Basics written on the inside. So that's always good. This is my cardboard blade. This is a blade that was a little too dull for paper, but still cuts manila folders just fine. So we're going to do that. Then we're also going to cut it to 8 3/4. So 8 3/4, and that's going to leave you with just a little bit of this one tab, and you'll see why that doesn't matter. Don't worry, you're not going to have to cut out notches. Okay, so that gives you this, which is going to have this little bitty cut right here. But don't worry, I got your back. She says confidently. So we're going to fold it in half. So I'm going to get out my scoreboard or my cutting board, and I'm going to put my scoring tool on here, which I love. This is a Fiskars or Fiskars, I'm not sure which. And we're going to put it in, if it's 8 3/4, oops, if it's 11 1/4 wide, then we're going to have to make it 5 5/8. Shoot, I erased it. I had it on there. I had it written down. Oh, no, you're looking at the top of my head. I'm sorry. 11 1/4 is 5 5/8. Yep. So we got 5 1/2 and 1/8. Okay. We're going to score it. Ooh, that's kind of painful. The old shoulder. Even though it's my left one, I still have to push down. Then you're going to flip it over. Even though you can see the line, it's still not going to fold very easy. And you can go to 5 5/8. That's what I love about this. This is so much easier than a regular scoreboard. I'm going to score it several times, pressing down fairly hard. And it looks like I did not match it up. That figures. Did them all perfect until I'm on camera. All right, let's see which one is the right one. This one. So let's fold it in half. Wouldn't be bad to have a little gusset, but I want them all to be even. I should have brought a spare one over here just in case something happened. But I think we're going to be okay. You're going to want to use your bone folder on this fairly persuasively. Okay. And then you're going to want to do it on the bottom too. Yeah, this came out crooked. Okay, let me put you on hold. Okay. Of course, as soon as I turned the camera off, the very first one I did came out fine. Now, I bought these manila folders on Amazon. When you go to get the legal size folders, when you're looking at the screen, it's got all the information and the price and everything, look down over here, because a lot of times they have some damaged boxes. This one, the little corner of the folders were curled up, but the rest of it's fine. And not very much either. And I got 100 of them for $1.87. So you might want to keep that in mind. I actually bought 3. And they come in stock occasionally. They don't always have them that way, so you may have to pay $13 or a little bit more. The 8.5 by 11s are $13. Anyway, so it just depends, but keep your eyes out. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to open the folder up. And we're going to cut from here to here to the center, and that's all. Okay, I'm going to do it on my paper trimmer because I find it much easier to cut a straight line that way. Oops, and I put my blade on, not my scoring tool. Okay, so now you've got this. So when you close it back up, and you fold it in half, when you open it up, you have an extra page. Okay? We're not going to do any flip downs or anything on the main folders. We're going to make it more like a book, and if we want any kind of flip downs, flip outs, or anything like that, we're going to either use envelopes or we're going to use spare manila folder pieces to make those. All right? Because I'm not sure I want to flip down. I may want to flip up. I probably will put one in, but I definitely am pretty sure I do not want to flip down. Now, this is where you don't have to worry about this little notch. The little notch. It's all in the way you put the book together. So let me get my other 2. Oh, actually, before we do that, we want to put the cover on. Normally we do the cover last, but we're going to close it with a brad. So we want to do that before we, do anything else. So we need to cover the cover. We need to cover the cover. We need to paper the cover. I've already inked it. Hope I'm going to like this with the manila folder as much as I thought I was going to. You know what I mean? Instead of inking it. I like the fact that it's a manila folder book. That doesn't bother me at all. And a lot of times different inks, depending on the color, make the manila folder look dirty, in my opinion. That's just me. Okay, so let's put the cover paper on. with a little border all the way around. Okay. Oops, I just slid it. Let's give that a second to dry. Make sure you're looking at just the cover and not the back of the other part, which is going to be our pocket. Maybe too late, but I'd like to move it down just a smidge. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to decide where do we want our circle closure. We're not going to put the string on it right now, but we're just going to put the closure on because we've got that opportunity while this is open and there's no pocket glued. Okay, so let's get our brad. I think I could have done a little bit better job of making that in the center. I used the larger setting on a crocodile to make the hole. I'm going to do the same thing on the cover. Okay, so let's set our brad aside for just a second. Let's decide where we want our closure. Not far enough back. I think right there is a good spot. Make our hole right there. Now make sure that you're only putting it through this first part. And I always push it down just a little bit to see where it's going to punch. Okay, now we've got our hole. We match that up with this one. We put our brad through. We open it up. Now we're going to want the brad to open up vertically, or actually horizontally. I always push them down a little bit to make sure they're flat. Ow. Sorry about that. You know, I was asleep and I fell out of bed. Only me. Hit my head and really hurt my shoulder. I must have been trying to get up to sleepwalk. I also sleepwalk, so must have got started to get up and then lost my balance in my sleep. The reason we're going to do it this way is so when you slide your card in and out, then it's got this smooth surface and it's not going to catch on that. Okay, so now we've got our cover done, and the rest of it we can start gluing together. So now this part is going to be a side pocket, but we're going to take this, and where the page opens in the back, we're going to glue another one to it. Let's see. Am I doing it backwards? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you want the tab on the top, because that way when you glue this to this, then having the tab won't make any difference, because now I had it where I knew what was going on. Yeah, this is going to glue to this. So this will fill in this tab. Now we want to glue this as a pocket. This is where our double pocket comes in. Okay, so we're only going to glue these 3 sides. We're not going to glue the left. Okay? Now remember, this doesn't go all the way up, so be careful with your gluing. You don't want to glue them together to the center one. And this way it doesn't matter about the... I think it's the last one that I have to flip around, and that's why I was looking at it and I was a little confused. Just say it in your head that I'm a little confused all the time. You don't have to say it out loud. Alright, so let's glue these together. I'm not really sure why that isn't lining up. There we go. I'm going to have to do some flip and flop maneuvering. Keep track of your right side up, because with your image. Okay, now we need to glue, this is the page where the brad is. We need to glue this right here to this. And they're the same size, they're square, so it doesn't matter. Now we want a side pocket. So when we glue it together, we're going to glue this side and we're going to glue the top. And I guess we could have labeled this folder number 1, but we're going to do the same thing on all of them. But this way it keeps the folder from coming apart. You want to go down to the score line. Sorry about that. That was incorrect. I have no idea what that's a reminder for. Okay, so we're going to do that. So now that gives us a pocket here. Okay. And then we need to do the same thing here. You know what? I think I glued it incorrectly. Open it, and open this. Well, we definitely want to get that extra glue off. The worst thing that would happen would be we would fold that one page back. Can't believe I wasn't paying attention. In a pocket. Oh, that's right. I just had it all opened up. Okay, so we've got this with a pocket. Then we've got a page. Then we have this double pocket here where we glued this pocket, and now we have to glue this pocket. Goodness gracious. So we just need to glue the top again. Down the middle so the folder doesn't come apart. You need to stay on, oh goodness. You need to stay on this side of the fold. And there's no notch, so you don't have to worry about that. So now we've got our first two folders glued together. We've got our pocket, we've got our cover, then we have a pocket, then we have a page, and then we have a double pocket right here, and we have another page. And then now that we're going to glue this to the last folder. So let's see if I can get this right. Maybe we should glue this together first. And make our pocket. We'll have another double pocket actually. Oh no, we won't. Yeah, we will. I think this is where I messed up last time. I want to glue that together as a pocket. And glue this together as a pocket. The reason we want to glue this together is so we don't have to worry about the notch. Oh, that's what it was. This one I turned the other way. By turning it the other way, then you're gluing together the notch again. Let's see. I want to make sure I got this right, because we've already got it right so far. Let's not mess it up now. Okay, so if we glue this to this, we got the page here. We can glue that to that and make a pocket, and then glue the top together and make a pocket. And we'll still have plenty of pages. Okay, so let's glue. We need to glue the page where it opens. We need to glue this to here. We're going to leave a side pocket. If we have to do an extra pocket from what I figured out, that's fine with me. All we do is lose a page. And we have plenty. We have plenty to throw away. Okay, so now let's glue these two together. I want to be able to have enough glue on here to move it around. So we're going to glue this one page to this page. That just means it's 30 minutes. Hold on just 1 second. Okay, let me start a new video. Okay, so at this point, we've got everything glued together, but then, uh-oh, we got this. Okay, so we need this, we're going to have a page. So this is the side we want to glue together and make the pocket. Okay, so this here and this here is where we're going to glue. You could still ink at this point if you wanted to, if you got it together and then decided if you got your act together and then decided that you wanted to ink it, you still could. In fact, it might be easier to do it now once you've got all your pages. Okay, so now we've got, essentially we have a book and not a folio. This is the first time I've made a book with 3. It'll be interesting, give us extra pages to fill up. Okay, we've got our thing for our rope to go around. All right, then we've got a pocket and then a page and then a pocket, a double pocket I mean, and then a page, and then we should have, yeah, and then we have another page with a pocket. Somehow that came out a little crooked. Oh, look at that. I don't think it's completely dry yet. Yep, it is. So we'll just have to live with it. And then we'll have another page. And then we'll have another pocket in the back. And then this will be our back cover. Okay? All right. So that's going to be it for this video. And now, when we go to the next video, you're going to have to start picking out some pages that you want. Let's start from the front. See, 5 5/8. Oops. If you want to, you can put paper clips where the side pockets are so that you remember. Plus, we're going to be paper clipping envelopes where we want them to go. And this is our double pocket. Just to help us remember, because when we put our pages on, our papers on, I mean, then after that we're going to notch them. But you see what I mean? This little notch out is now glued to this next page, so you don't have to worry about it. You can just paper right over it. Okay, and we've got a page, and then we've got another pocket. We've got lots of pockets. We can use some of the pages from the smaller version. That was the one that I printed out with the border, and so they're too small for what I wanted to do. Then I took all my paper clips. Whale crossing. Okay, and then paper clip here. So that's it for now, really and truly. And then I will see you in the next video. Have some papers picked out, and you know, cut some in half, or cut all of them in half, and then pick out some papers. I would say at least for this one and this one. And I think we're going to put an envelope here and possibly one on the other side. So make sure that you ink up some envelopes. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. We're going to have quite a few envelopes, aren't we? Maybe we'll just put one on one side. We don't want to overdo it. Okay, so I have to ink these, so I don't want to paper clip it inside the book because I don't want to forget. All right, so I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.